Hello, my name is Perry Van Boom, and for this design activity, we are taking a deep dive into the Horizon Report of 2017. So, this report identifies and describes emerging technologies that the authors believe will have an impact on teaching, learning, and creativity. Multiple versions of the report are produced for different audiences, and for this particular case, we are looking at a higher education perspective. So the three facets of the Horizon Report that I'm going to be analyzing are the midterm trends, which will be going on in the next 3 to 5 years. Also, some difficult challenges that we might be having in this environment, and some developments that will be enacting in the next 2 to 3 years. So again, the midterm trends that I'm looking at are opportunities for ed tech adoption in the next 3 to 5 years, and those are growing focus on measuring learning and redesigning learning spaces. So there's a growing focus on measuring learning in new and improved assessment resources. So we need assessment tools that better align with the 21st century skills that we want our students to have. As societal and economic factors redefine what skills are necessary in today's workforce, colleges and universities must rethink how to define, measure, and demonstrate subject mastery and soft skills such as creativity and collaboration. So we also need to make more pedagogical innovations to elevate student learning, and this can be done with the help of technology and data-driven analytics. There are technology tools that provide both up-to-date analytics and adaptive learning with personalized support. These forms of technology are not to replace the teacher, but to enhance the classroom experience and make it easier to differentiate and deliver personalized learning. So there's also a need for redesigning learning spaces. Since our instructional goals have changed to accommodate 21st century standards of learning, we need to move away from traditional lecture-based classroom styles. We have to move towards designing classrooms that reflect the real world that our students will be facing after they graduate and they start working. So this will involve the incorporation of more active learning, social learning, and more technology tools in the classroom. So another technology standpoint that I dove into with the Horizon Report are the difficult challenges. So these are challenges that where the solutions are actually kind of elusive, and we might not have a particular plan of action, but we are definitely looking into it. And so those two challenges are the achievement gap that's happening and advancing digital equity. So the achievement gap is also referred to as the college completion gap, and it reflects a disparity in the enrollment and academic performance between student groups defined by socioeconomic status, race, ethnicity, or gender. So this one-size-fits-all approach of traditional higher education paradigms, coupled with overwhelming tuition costs, is in complete contrast with an increasingly diverse global student population, so we need more flexible degree plans. The challenge facing higher education is that we need to cater to all student needs. So there are some possible solutions, and those include a few different things. There are initiatives that promote different routes to enrollment beyond traditional testing and admissions processes, and those are showing promise. Australia is leading this charge, and they're graduating low-income and first-generation students at an increasing rate. Also, institutions are turning to technology solutions to monitor student engagement. So another difficult challenge that we looked into was advancing digital equity. And digital equity refers to the unequal access to technology. Actually, the United Nations identified internet access as an essential to meeting its sustainable development goals of alleviating poverty and hunger and improving health and education worldwide by 2030. So this is a really important challenge that we have to look into. Technology access is necessary to promote full participation, communication, and learning within society. Technology plays a huge role in higher education as it allows access to learning materials for all students and it assists disabled students around the globe. This is closely tied to the previous note that we made about the growing achievement gap and the need for solutions to make higher education more attainable for all. The flexibility of online learning allows students to pursue educational opportunities that they would be unable to matriculate at technical traditional institutions. So this is, again, a really important step for us to be making. The last aspect of the Horizon report that I analyzed were the items that were predicted to take about 2 to 3 years to adopt. And these include what we call the Internet of Things and next generation LMS. So first, the Internet of Things, it consists of objects given the computing power that are capable of transmitting information across networks. So these connections allow remote management, status monitoring, tracking, and alerts. This is pretty much talking about all our connected devices that are just rapidly growing. Using connected devices to collect data have benefits to the higher education experience. So the first one is that for campus life. Campus life can be benefited through the improvement of safety alerts in all our wearable technology and just technology that students are bringing with them all the time. This can be a great improvement. Also, using wearable technology to detect changes in emotion with biological factors. It hasn't been done on a large scale yet, but it's something that we're moving towards, especially with all of the talk about mental health and the importance of that in college students and just adults all over the world. There's even research being done about the correlation between student posture during class and their ability to learn. So there's a lot of growth that is happening with all these connected devices. So something else that is being kind of laid out in the next 2 to 3 years is a next generation LMS. So an LMS stands for Learning Management System. It also can be referred to as a virtual learning environment. LMS enabled the online delivery of course materials and the tracking of student participation. So being in an online education format right now with my graduate school, I've obviously interacted with LMS as all of you, all my classmates and my instructor. We've been dealing with LMS and it's just growing so quickly with the proliferation of online education. And while LMS is crucial for online education, some leaders believe that current LMS are limited in capacity. They're too narrowly focused on the administration of learning rather than the actual learning. So we need to develop more flexible spaces that do a few things. They need to support personalization, they need to meet universal design standards, and they need to play a larger role in formative learning assessment, not just summative assessments. So the goal here is to shift the focus of these platforms from enabling administrative tasks to deepening the act of learning. So I had a wonderful time looking through all of these aspects of the Horizon report, and I want to thank you so much for listening to my thoughts about them.